Hello, everyone. Hello, good evening. Happy Motivational Monday. Thank you for tuning in to the Healing Truth channel. My name is LaFrance. I'm a life coach, mentor, motivational speaker, and I love to uplift and give you that beautiful healing energy and, you know, messages and things like that. I wanted to go over something that I feel is another important issue that we um, should think about. A lot of people are going through this issue, and I think what really triggered me to even bring talk about this. I've been seeing a lot of people recruiting people to sign petitions, sign petitions to extend, give people extensions to vote, and things like that. Like if you're in the military, getting extensions to vote if you don't meet the deadline. And then there's another petition going around, and I believe it had to do with women's rights when it comes to their body, as far as the abortion. I found this to be a great topic. I found it very challenging. I love a challenge. I go against the grain. I don't follow the masses. I have my own outlook on things because I feel there's a lot of things that we should address because we haven't been doing that. And that's why the world has been the way it's been, because there's been a lot of control, but the control hasn't been in a positive way. I'm going to first, when I was approached to sign a petition, I'm not going to lie, I was all about voting and things like that, you know, um, getting people to, you know, go out and vote. I worked polls and things. I've done that for some years until I started really awakening to the system, you know. When you know. And I hate to be a person that go around and say your vote doesn't matter, but at this point in time, we have to understand the world that we're living in and who's running it, how it's been being ran, how your votes, I really hate to say it, they haven't made that much of an impact, because at the end of the day, the people that's in control of this system they're going to do it the way that they are going to do it. So not saying that there's not a solution. The solution starts when everybody stand up and stop being connected to the matrix. Stop believing everything that you're being programmed to believe. A lot of things are not going to change until the whole system is redone. That's just the fact. That's just the way it is. That's life. That's just how it is. Nothing's going to change until it's all done with. It's all, I hate to say it, but once the whole system is over with, we need a brand new system. Things need to be ran by different people. Different things need to be done. Things that has to do with integrity, love, compassion, common sense, because there's a lack of that. So when I was approached about the extension to get, signed for people can get extensions for voting, I straight up told the young man, no, I'm not doing that, because I don't get wrapped up in the politics anymore. I'm over politics. I don't do politics. If we're going to start a new system, then I'll get involved in that. Until then, this system is the same. There's nothing really changing. You have people saying they're going to do this, saying they're going to do that. Nobody has done anything that they said they were going to do. I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just being real. Yes, we want to give certain people, politicians and candidates, chances, but at the same time, I'm not trying to encourage you not to vote. I'm just encouraging you to open your mind to truth, to what you've been seeing, what changes have been made. There's a lot of things that hasn't been changed in so many years, and we've been out here voting for so long. Especially for minorities. Let's just be honest. We go break our neck to vote for what, when it's the same thing? And then some of these things, bills that's being signed, they're bills being signed for, just all type of, some things is just kind of inappropriate when it comes to the kids. I don't think people really understand how the system is being set up and who's in control over it at the moment, because some of these bills should make you look and open, the light bulb should come in your head like, this don't make no sense. This ain't sounding right. This ain't right. especially with some of the things that's being okay for kids, inappropriate things. But that's a whole nother story. As Dr. Mumbi would say, that's stories for other days. If you don't know, then you better find out, start studying what these bills is about that's being signed, you know. But that was just my take on the whole voting, all of that. I don't get wrapped up in it. I'm not a political person. I don't do politics. Period. The system now needs to be rebuilt. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to say it and leave it there. Now, when it comes to the rights for women, and once again, guys, thank you. This is my blackout video. So once I get to learn and understand how you can like put a picture up when you're doing your blackouts, I got to get used to all that. I'm not, I know technology, but I don't know how to do that on my laptop. So for now, it's just a black screen, but it's all about the message. I want y'all to be able to get the message. But when it comes to women's bodies, this is a topic that I kind of straddle the fence with. I didn't sign that petition either because I can see both sides of it. Now, I'm the type of person, I don't, you guys know I'm real. I keep it real. I'm not about to front. I'm not about to, I know when to say what and when not to. So this needs to be said. I feel like, yes, women should be able to make their own decisions as to what they want to do with their bodies. However, this is the problem. This is the misconception of when women are constantly, you got young women, you got all type of women that go out and have kids and things like that. I'm not talking about the women who's having children, baby after baby, and they're able to take care of them no matter what their struggle is. They're still being there in the presence of the children, giving that child the emotional support that it needs. So I'm not talking about those type of mothers. I'm talking about, you have women who are drug addicts. This is for the women who are out here strung out on drugs. And when I'm talking about things, I'm speaking from experience. I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm talking about, because I can relate to this, because this hit close home, very close to home. When you have women out here who have mental illnesses or addicted to drugs, and they're constantly out here having baby after baby after baby, and the system, all they do is take the baby away. These babies coming out drug addicted. But then you go to some of these hospitals, which is ridiculous to me. This is where it just don't make sense to me, period. When you go to some of these hospitals and they refuse to tie the tubes, when this person have a history of coming to your hospital having these babies and they're all coming out drug addicted, and you guys won't tie the tubes because you said it's against the religion of the church, that's when there should be a line crossed. When do we say enough is enough? When do people get out of their feelings of saying it's a woman body, if they want to do this, they can do this? When is it enough? When we put our foot down and say, okay, if these women, to me, I feel like it should be a case base. You have women who have been raped and don't want to keep the child. I'm against it, but I don't try to throw stones at glass houses. I keep, hey, I don't really try to judge too much about why, because everybody have their reasons as to why they've done what they've done. I can't really speak on that too much. I'm just saying as far as that. But my point is, when you have people who are so against it, if I've literally seen people argue against someone when they've sat up there and said, you are not supposed to abort a baby. If that young person, or whoever, young, older, it don't matter the age, if you've been raped and you choose not to keep that child and people are against it, that's not our place. That's not our place. That we leave that up to God. Too many people are trying to play God. When you have to know, if you have God within you, you're going to know what's right, what's wrong, and when you need to shut your mouth and mind your business. because I feel like some people are in situations where the society is so odd, because the things that people are worried and stressing about is they we worrying and stressing about the wrong things. Let's just put it to you. I'm going to put it like that. When I think about how many women are out here constantly having babies, so now they how we are constantly allowing these women to constantly have babies, knowing they have drug addictions, knowing they're not mentally right and they're mentally unstable, and then they're constantly bringing these babies into the world who are drug addicted babies, and then they're going into homes and being taken away one after the other, and it's like a continued cycle. So we so worried about breaking the religious beliefs of we don't this hospital don't do abortions, as opposed to we need to stop this, we need to tie this person tubes. No, I mean, I didn't, let me say that, let me rephrase that, because I didn't mean to say abortion. Instead of these hospitals stepping up, not all but some, so I'm talking about these hospitals that have these follow these belief systems where they don't believe in tying tubes. They don't do it there. I believe they don't do it without the consent or whatever. When you need to start figuring out how, when does the children start to, when do the babies start to become important? When are we going to put our foot down and say, okay, we need to be evaluating people on a case basis? If you have somebody you know mentally ill, have a history of coming in here having babies, and they're drug addicted babies, and you're constantly allowing them to have the babies, it's to me, it makes no sense. I've never been able to agree with that. And if that's one thing that needs to be changed, that is that. While people are worrying about folks having abortions and things like that, you need to be focusing on people out here who are mentally unstable, addicted to drugs, and constantly out here recklessly having babies. And these babies are coming out drug addicted back to back to back. And these hospitals refuse to tie their tubes. There needs to be things put into place. Okay, this person have a history of this. Either figure out how to help that person so that they can be in a mind frame and a better health, so that they can, if they do go out there, they're able to care for the child, as opposed to constantly letting them come in there and delivering the baby and giving the baby to the system over and over and over again. Those are the type of things that nobody is paying attention to. There's a lot of women out here that does that. Not a lot. I'm just going to say there are some women out here who are, and I'm not blaming the drug addicted and mentally ill women. I'm just saying they need help. Either help them by tying them tubes, or help them, not just send them back out there. Lock them up for a little bit, and they right back out there doing the same thing. If they're going to be reckless, allow them to do that to themselves. When you are producing a seed, when you are bringing a child into this world, that's a whole nother life. And we don't take that serious enough. Nobody's paying attention to these babies who are end up having all type of mental illnesses and addictions and different type of disabilities, because they were drug addicted babies that nobody took the time and the compassion and the right mindset, because you have people following these belief systems with some of these hospitals, and they're not tying their tubes. Those are the things I don't agree with. Or even if you have, a drug addicted mom and she don't want to keep it, and she knows she has issues and she chooses to have an abortion, that is her business. We can't really judge people when it comes to their body. You can't tell people what to do with their body. I don't agree with that part of it, but I feel there's a limit when we need to step in, when the system needs to step in and say, okay, yep, we need to have an order for this person to tie her tubes, because now it's becoming it should be like a actual crime. I'm sorry, but it should, because the system, you're allowing these women to constantly have these babies, and especially I feel like it should be a case based. If they have a history of constantly having drug addicted babies, something need to be done. If you're not going to step up and give that person the proper mental health and the help for the drug addictions, then you need to do something with the far as stepping in, getting a court order, and having them go and get them tubes tied, tie them without their consent. Because and I feel that that's just how it has to be done. We do a lot of stuff against that people don't want done. The system don't have a problem with doing it. So when it comes to these children's lives, their lives are important, because some of these babies get in the system and they're forgotten. Not all, but some of them are. Some people don't want to deal with them. Some people don't want to take them because they're problem children, or they're too hard. Some people can't handle that type of responsibility. So that's when we need to figure out what needs to be done. You got to balance it out. You can't just tell somebody, okay, you can't have the abortion because you was raped, or, things like that. That's that person's choice. I feel like there should be restrictions. It shouldn't be done. I think it should be more earlier than what it was being allowed to. I think at 1 month, if you ain't went and got checked out at 1 month, I say 1 month is the latest, but there's a limit, because you got to understand when that baby is forming and everything. But to prevent some of the cases where it has become a issue, that's when you got to pick your battles. When y'all want, the system should step in when it's out here when it's people having babies that shouldn't be having babies. I'm just saying like that. When there's people out here, women out here that should not be having babies, as opposed to women who just, that's their life. Whatever they choose, they don't want to have. I mean, I don't agree with it. I don't. But at the same time, I feel there should be a limit. If you haven't gotten take care of by a certain time, then don't get it done. I think it should be earlier than 3 months. That's just my opinion. I feel like when it comes to somebody's body, that's their business. However, when it's become I can't even think of the word I want to say. When it's become such a serious problem, that's when something needs to be done. And I feel like this is just an issue that a lot of people don't like to hear. Some people don't like to hear about. All these people who are about pro-life. I'm all about pro-life. I'm all about pro-life so much that we need to make sure these women quit having babies and bringing them into this world and not giving them the proper chance of life and health that they're supposed to have. That's what I'm about. Pro-life. That's pro-life to me. Now, people just out here being reckless, having, baby, didn't want to go get aborted. I feel like there should be a limit. It should be earlier, sooner than what they think. When you've been out there being reckless, you should know that. When you feel, we women, we gonna feel something after a month. When that monthly come, you gonna know when something ain't right if you missed your monthly, or even if your body. Even some women still have that and be pregnant. So your body. So there should be early. I really don't too much sympathize with women who are just out here and you just make a boo-boo. Oh, I decide I don't want it because I was reckless. Or I'm not talking about the ones who protect themselves. Something happened, boom, slip up, whatever. Because I don't think that any child is a mistake. I think they're all blessings. I think they're here for a reason. But we have to also open our mind to when it becomes too much, when it's become a problem. When we are just not taking into consideration of the problems that child is going to have when it comes out. And it's a beautiful thing to have people here that's willing to take on these babies and families and things like that. But we also can do a lot to prevent this. It can be easily prevented. There's a good prevention plan for this. If we're going to start putting our foot down on some things, we need to start putting our foot down on things that's the reality. What's real. Caring about these babies. Our babies coming out healthy. Our babies coming out with a sound mind. Our babies coming out, without disabilities. Because that's what this stuff causes. If we don't take it serious, and really start looking at the big picture, we're focusing on the wrong things. Nobody's making a big deal about some of these bills that was signed that allow some of these people to be pervs. I'm just keeping it real. We not tripping over that, but we worry about what a woman doing with her body when we need to be focusing on the women who have issues that should not be having children, having babies. We got to pick our battles. You know, what are we going to do to really make a true change? And that's why I don't get wrapped up in politics anymore, because I feel like the whole system needs to change. The people, everything. The way it's being ran, who it's being run by, all that needs to go away. I'm sorry, it just does. So that's my motivational message for Monday. You know, I had to talk about that because that was one of those topics that I don't think that we think about deep enough. If we go into the depth of this situation, it's an issue. It's definitely an issue. And I'm the one to first stand up. My hand is up in the air. I can truly sit here and say this. I'm a living witness to this is a problem, because it hit all the way close to home. All the way close to home. Anything I talk about, I'm speaking from experience. And I'm not saying me personally, but it hits home very close. So this is something that, if we're going to start bringing up issues and things that we can change in this world and our communities and in the system, these are some things we can start working on. You know, because then these babies end up, if you can't go to family, they end up in foster care system. You know, going from one place to another, because some people then we wonder why some of these young folks grow up with some of these issues and problems and troubles and things, because of their history, because of how they were born, the issues they were born with. And in order for our babies, our youth to have a future, you got to start somewhere. You can't keep allowing this stuff to happen. And once again, it's not to blame the mother herself, because she's sick. They're sick. They need help. So if you're not going to help them stop bringing children in the world that's going to have mental illnesses, disabilities, sick, don't really have a true chance at life, possibly get rejected. These are things we got to think about. People are so worried about the wrong thing, but they're not real. Nobody's thinking about the children. It's just a lot of weirdness going on. I just don't understand. It's weird to me, you know, how we got certain bills going through for pedophiles, and I'm not a big fan of pedophiles messing with children and things like that. You know, like I stated before, I'm always going to say it. I'm not a big fan of that, because I feel it's a spirit. It's a demonic spirit. When you messing with babies, it's a demonic spirit. So I don't really, you know, I don't feel sorry for people like that. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just don't, because if you look at a baby and you can just want that baby, something is wrong with you. I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. There should nothing. You shouldn't get away with nothing on that. You should be handled very aggressively. I don't play when it comes to the babies. Leave the babies alone. But I just wanted to come through with this video. I pray this was edifying to you guys, something for us to think about as a collective, as humanity. Just putting some more out there, something for us to all think about, ways we can make changes on this planet in a better way, to help have a healthier, brighter future for our youth. You know, I think it starts with us. It starts with our mind. It starts with, you know, awareness. Opening our mind to the reality of life, the things that we can do starting within ourselves to make these changes. Our youth is the future. We have to do everything necessary to protect our youth and keep them on the right, healthy, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, give them confidence, give them love, support. You know, a lot of youth is suffering from peer pressure, have all type of things going on, you know, feeling like they got to fit in and all this stuff, you know, falling into the wrong type of stuff, hanging around the wrong crowds. You know, we got to start doing better and coming together as a collective to figure out ways to change things. So yeah, when people come to me about the politics and things, I don't knock I don't knock the politicians and things like that when they're around here. I know a couple people who's trying to get in the, political system, and I just, I'm just not a fan of it. I just don't, because and it's not on anything on them, but at the end of the day, you're still going to be controlled to do things a certain way. They don't have all the control that we think they have. So people naturally are going to, and I'm all for things of changing of the environment and things like that. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think ways we can help Mother Gaia. That's a beautiful thing. I'm all for that. And I'm all for the politicians that work on that type of stuff. But also it's about humanity. Because humanity, we have to be able to keep Mother Gaia healthy. It's not just physical, it's mental, it's spiritual. We have to all have a certain type of vibration on this planet. Integrity, love, things like that. Oh, self-awareness, healing, ways we can help people heal. These are the type of things that we should be focusing on. And it starts within us. It starts as a group consciousness. It starts as, putting in what's necessary to help humanity, all people, all beautiful rainbow of people, humanity. That's what it's about. Tackling the major issues, and everything starts within ourselves. It's not all about just constantly segregating everybody. It's about the reality of it, because everybody has been controlled to a certain level to believe certain things. So now we got to get out of that. It's enough of all that. It is what it is at this point. We all got to look at each other as the energy that was given to us, and that's the God energy. That's how we got to look at it, because it's going to take all of us to make things right on this planet. But also it's going to take us to stay at a high vibration of positivity, love, high vibrational good energy. Connecting on a different level, on a spiritual level, on a positive level, so that we can bring our consciousness together and figure out how we can make this world a better place and continue to love our Mother Gaia, because she loves us, She loves us. I was doing good this morning too. I was on my way to church. I'm just kind of irritated because I had somebody this is totally off subject, but I had to really, get myself in a better woosah and just breathe and, say it gets greater later. So I ain't tripping over that. It's just the purpose of it. I have my car parked at Walmart, and somebody literally hit my car. It wasn't just like a bump or a little dink. You know how some people open the door, they dink it a little bit, or, somebody bag up, boop. Somebody hit my car so bad to the point they did damage on my car and did not do anything. They left, didn't leave a note, didn't leave anything. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And I had to pray, and I'm like, you know what, God, it's just a car. It ain't, I'm going to let it go. I'm not even tripping, because I always try to look at the brighter future. It's greater later. But it was just a moment of that happening for, somebody to hit your car that bad and totally leave no note or anything. But this is for that person, whoever hit, I'm speaking this into the universe, whoever hit my car, karma. That's all I'm going to say. Karma. Return to sender. So I had to put that on my video, because I'm like, I can't believe people is that dirty, and I ain't gonna sit up here and act innocent like I ain't dink somebody's car, but it, and you dink it a little bit, but you don't put like a big dent. I ain't, do nothing like that, but you open your door, you get a little boop, something like that, where you don't leave no dent or nothing like that, but this person literally crashed. I'm saying crashed because they did some damage to my car. I can only laugh at it, because I'm like, I can't believe people are just so rude. Like, man, it was by the Most High God I didn't see it happen, because it would have, oh man, I wouldn't even tripped on it if I had seen it and I was there. I wouldn't even made a big deal. It's just the fact how it was done, and they didn't even leave any type of note or anything. So I got to go through a whole process with that, have Walmart, police report, have people look at the camera, all that stuff. But that's neither here nor there. I just had to put that energy out there because this is karma for whoever hit my car. And I dinked it. You hit my car and damaged my car. So, karma. All I'm gonna say is karma, because I know how the Most High God and Spirit is. We protect it. So you hit my car, it's coming back on you. Okay, so I normally try not to do that, but sometimes people be out here doing the most, and then sometimes it's not always about what you do, it's who you do it to. So you got to be careful who you do things to, because you never know who they are. So a lot of people are learning that you can't just do stuff to people and you don't even know who they are. You don't know their ranking in the spiritual realm. You don't really even know. So that's how you get your karma. So that's why I try to keep my karma clean. Keep your karma clean out there. But I wanted to I had to say that. I had to vent that out because, people just do things and it doesn't make any sense. But I just want to come through with this message. I hope it was something that bring some maybe open, it's a vision, something that could possibly happen, something we could work on. Everybody can come together with understanding. We all need understanding. We have to open our minds. We have to not be so judgmental, and we have to open our minds, because you have to start looking at the bigger picture and put more compassion into the children and the babies, because they come first. Yeah, we don't want abortions and things happening, so let's start doing things so that we can prevent certain issues. And I hate to sound like this. I really hate to say this, because God know my heart. But I'm kind of like, some of these children that come out so horribly addicted with all type of disabilities and issues, they're suffering. Not all of them, because some of these babies can have a beautiful life with their disabilities or whatever, with the right therapy, the right love, because love is a healer. Love heals you. If you don't have love, you struggle. Nobody in this earth can live without love. If you're living without love, you're struggling, you're suffering. So love is a healer. It's a healing energy. The heart chakra, love. Without love, you have nothing. It don't matter how much money you have or anything, but without love, you don't have anything. But some children it's kind of like this poor baby, like, I hate to sound like that, but some of these babies, they probably would have done better allowing their spirit to come through a different way. Let's just say that. I'm going to say it like that because I don't want to sound cruel, because I'm not. I love kids. I love babies. I feel they're the major part of our lives. They're the ones that they're the future, and children they're very important. And I just feel like there are certain things that should be prevented to even bring these children in here to suffer like that. So whether somebody, and when it comes to the abortions, I feel like it should be a limit. I don't feel like a woman should be told she can't, if she don't want to, that's her business, that's her body. I do agree on that aspect, but I also feel that there should be a limit when you come. It should be a case based. It should be based off of that person, their history, what they have going on, their mental status, and things like that. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. But thank you guys for tuning into my video. I pray that you all have a wonderful, wonderful, blessed day. Continue to love yourself. Continue to keep your vibrations up. Keep moving forward in your life. Continue to gain that knowledge and that awareness of what's going on in this world. And, positive vibes only. So you guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Peace, love, and light.